Hello everyone, welcome back to the map of mathematics. In this video we are going to solve a nice math Olympiad geometry problem, and here we have a nice right triangle in which the side length of this triangle are sine x, sine 2x and sine 3x, and we will solve this problem for the values of x. So here you know that this is the right triangle and this angle be the right angle, and here I can suppose this as any other angle, and you know that the opposite side to the right angle is known as the hypotenuse, and the side which join these two angles is known as the base, and the other side is known as the perpendicular or altitude. So now in order to find the value of x, here we use the nice well known Pythagorean theorem, and you know about this theorem. So this theorem is written as in this form: hypotenuse square equals to base square plus perpendicular square. So this is known as the Pythagorean theorem or Pythagoras theorem. So now in order to find the value of x, here I can just put the values of hypotenuse, base and perpendicular, and you see that we have the hypotenuse is sine 3x, so you can just put here sine of 3x and its whole squared equals to our base is sine of 2x and its whole square, and perpendicular is sine x and its whole squared. So in the next step we will use here the nice trigonometric formulas, and you know about these formulas. So here we have sine 3x, and you know the triple angle identity in trigonometry, so it is equals to 3 times of sine x minus 4 times of sine cubed x and its whole squared equals to, you know that the double angle identity in trigonometry, and it is equals to 2 times of sine x into cos x and its whole squared, plus here we have sine x and we write it as sine squared of x. So this is the our next step here, and now we need to simplify this expression, so that here we can just open a minus b whole squared, and you know that this is the well known square identity. So after applying this identity you will get here 9 times of sine squared x plus 16 times of sine to the power of 6x minus 24 times of sine to the power of 4x, and it is equals to, here we can again use this nice square identity. Sorry, we can just here apply the square on each of the term, and you will write it as 2 times of sine square x into cos square x, and here you have plus sine squared x. So now in the next step we will here we need some more simplifications here. So in order to take simplifications, we need to rewrite this equation as 9 times of sine squared x plus 16 times of sine to the power of 6x minus 24 times of sine to the power of 4x equals to, here we use the nice trigonometric identity, and you know that cos of square x equals to 1 minus sine squared x, and plus we have this is the sine squared x. So now in the next step here we need some more simplifications. So now we can just simplify the right hand side here. So we multiply this 2 times of sine squared x on both of the terms, and you get here 2 times of sine squared x minus 2 times of sine to the power of 4x and plus you have sine squared x. So after adding 2 times of sine squared and plus sine squared x, then it is equals to 3 times of sine squared x, and we have minus 2 times of sine to the power of 4x. Sorry, here we have little mistake. So this is when you open the square of this term, then you have the square of 2 equals to 4. So here I can just write this as 4. So now you multiply both of the terms by 4 times of sine square x, and you will get here the output in this form. So 4 sine square x plus sine square x equals to 5 times of sine square x. And now we move all the terms in the right hand side to the left hand side, so it will becomes in this form 9 times of sine squared x plus 16 times of sine to the power of 6x minus 24 times of sine to the power of 4x. And we move these two terms in the right hand side, and you get minus 5 times of sine squared x and plus 2 times of sine to the power of 4x, and this whole equals to 0. So now we can just add or subtract the like terms here, and you will see that. So here we write this is the 16 times of sine to the power of 6x, and after that we have, so this is our 4 and this is also 4. So when you subtract minus 24 plus 4, it is equals to minus 20 times of sine to the power of 4x, and after that we have 9 sine square x and minus 5 sine square x, it is equals to plus 4 times of sine squared x, and this whole equals to 0. So in the next step you will see here we have sine squared x be the common term, so that we will take common here sine squared x, and you got here 16. You take common 4 times of sine squared x, and you get here 4 times of sine to the power of 4x minus 5 times of sine squared x, and because here you take common this one and you get here only 1, and this is equals to 0. So after this step we have two cases here. So the first case is we can just write this 4 times of sine squared x equals to 0, and the other case is we write 4 times of sine to the power of 4x minus 5 times of sine squared x and plus 1 equals to 0. So in this step you will easily get the value of sine x equal to 0. But here you remember one thing is that the sine x be the one side of this right triangle. So here you see that sine x be the perpendicular side of this right triangle. So you know that the length of any side of triangle cannot be equals to 0, so that it is not possible, and we will just rejected this case. And now we will just proceed here this case only, and in this case we will rewrite this equation as sine to the power of 4x minus we have 5, and we write it as 4 times of sine squared x minus sine squared x and plus 1 equals to 0, because you know that we will write minus 5 as minus 4 and minus 1. And in the next step you will just take common 4 times of sine squared x in the first two terms, and you will get here sine squared x minus 1, and here we take common minus 1 only, and we will get here sine squared x minus 1 equals to 0. So here we have two cases. The first is we can write sine squared x minus 1 equals to 0, and the other case is we write 4 times of sine square x minus 1 equals to 0. So now we can solve these two cases here. So the first case we will write it as sine x minus 1 into sine of x plus 1 equals to 0, and in this case you will write it as 2 times of sine x minus 1 equal sine x minus 1 multiplied by 2 times of sine of x plus 1 equals to 0. So here you will just get that the four cases. So here I can write the first case is we have sine x minus 1 equals to 0. The second case is we write sine x plus 1 equals to 0. The third case from here is 2 times of sine x minus 1 equals to 0, and the fourth case is we get from this is 2 times of sine x plus 1 equals to 0. So here I can name this as case number 1. So now first I can proceed here this case, and in this case you will just see that we get the value of sin x is equals to minus 1, and you know that sin x be the length of the side of the right triangle, so it cannot be negative. So that we will just rejected this case because it cannot be satisfied the given condition. So the side of triangle cannot be negative, so we will reject this one. And in this case you will just write it as 2 times of sin x. So here I can name this as equation number 2 because here we need to solve this one. And in this case you will easily see that we have sine of x equals to minus 1 over 2. So this is also negative, and we will reject this case because the side of triangle cannot be negative. So in this case and this case we can solve here. So now first I can write equation number 1. So in equation number 1 you will easily get sine x equals to 1, and you know that if sine x equals to 1 then you can easily find that sine of 2x equals to 0 because sine x be the one side of the triangle and sine 2x be the base of this right triangle. So if sine 2x 0, then it cannot be possible, and we will rejected this case because if sin x equals to 1 then sin 2x equals to 0 we will easily obtain from here. So it cannot be possible the side of triangle equals to 0, so we will again rejected this case. So now we have only case number 2, and we will solve here the case number 2 here, or equation number 2. So from equation number 2 we will find the value of sin x. So you easily find the value of sin x equals to 1 over 2, and here we move this sign on the right hand side and you will get here sine inverse of 1 over 2, and you will easily get sine inverse of 1 over 2 equals to pi by 6. So now you see that we have sine is positive, lies in first and second quadrant. So you will see here our sign is positive, lies in first and second quadrant. Sign is positive, lies in first and second quadrant. And you know that the angle lies in first quadrant is x equals to pi by 6, and the angle lies in second quadrant is x equals to pi minus pi by 6. So here we need to check which value is satisfied or which value is the solution of our given question. So if I can check this, so here you have x equals to 5 pi by 6. So here you remember one thing is that if you have x equals to 5 pi by 6, so the value of sine of 2x equals to sine of 2 times of 5 pi by 6. So if you can find the value of this term, then you will see that it is less than or equals to 0. So if this value is less than or because sine 2x be the one side of the right triangle, so if sine 2x is less than or equals to 0, then it means that x equals to 5 by 2 is not the solution of the given problem. So that we will rejected this solution because in this solution we will get the one side of the right triangle is 0. So we will rejected this case, and we have only one solution, which is x equals to pi by 6, and we will write in general form which is pi by 6 plus 2k pi, and our K belongs to R. So this is the our only one solution of this problem. And thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe to my channel for more exciting videos.